Good afternoon, everyone. You're welcome to American Spaces Youth Development Program series. Today, we have in our midst a special guest, and the guest is going to be introduced shortly. We'll be discussing this next 5 days, 5 weeks, Money Matters Mastery, Empowering Youth Financial Fitness webinar series. We have put this together because we know for sure that most people, particularly the young folks, who have more opportunities to plan their financial lives, have not been paying attention to money matters. A lot of people are looking for money, but they don't even know how to make money, not to talk of conserving the money. So how do we manage money? This is the whole essence of this particular series. And we have in our midst Mr. Shola Adeyiga. I'll be reading his bio in the next few minutes. Please just give me that grace so that I can read it thoroughly. Mr. Shola is the founder and CEO of Credit Pro Business Support Services Limited. He is a highly accomplished individual with a strong background in finance, entrepreneurship, and business development. Please, can you help me mute that, madam? Help me mute that. Mr. Shola is a fellow of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, ICAN, and the Institute of Credit Administration in Nigeria. He graduated with a degree in computer science from Olabisi Onabanjo University and later attended the prestigious Lagos Business School for an executive MBA program in 2008-2009. Shola excelled in his ICAN exams, becoming an associate of ICAN in 2008 and receiving the Prince Adeniran Ogunsanya's Prize in Business Law. In recognition of his accomplishments, sorry, this thing is disturbing me, please. In recognition of his accomplishments, he was conferred with the Fellow of ICAN title in 2021. In 2020, Shola furthered his education by completing a postgraduate diploma course in credit management at the Institute of Credit Administration. He also participated in Stanford Institute for Innovation in Development Economies, Stanford SEED program from 2014 to 2015, which supported the growth of emerging businesses in developing economies. Shola began his professional career in 2002 at NAL Bank PLC and later joined Sky Bank PLC in 2005. He gained extensive experience in various areas of banking, including e-business, branch and treasury operations, capital markets, information technology, business solutions, and credit card management. He left Sky Bank PLC in 2008 as deputy manager and head of credit card business. As an experienced entrepreneur, Shola has successfully founded several business ventures in logistics management, manufacturing, training and consulting, and agriculture. He specializes in financial management, business structuring, business re-engineering, and strategy formulation and implementation. Over the past 7 years, Shola has provided training, consulting, and mentoring services to numerous SME business owners. Shola's diverse expertise and strong educational background have equipped him with the skills and knowledge needed to excel in his role as the founder and CEO of Credit Pro Business Support Services Limited. He is committed to helping businesses thrive through effective financial management, and strategic planning. Shola's dedication to entrepreneurship and his contributions to the business community make him a valuable asset in Nigerian business landscape. Please welcome with me, Mr. Shola. Over to you, Mr. Shola. We have young people who are listening to you from all over the country. And for the next 3 weeks, you'll be able to have this. Can we clap for him? Over to you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for the introduction. And I always feel at times uncomfortable when they read my profile. And I say, is it about me? And, so thank you so much. Thank you for the profile. And we'll go straight to the presentation. I want to say thank you for the opportunity to talk to young people. I've trained a lot of small businesses owned by young and vibrant Nigerians, and I know how interesting and engaging it is when you try to impact on young people. So thank you, American Spaces. This is a very laudable initiative, and I believe that if you continue this way, we try to improve the human capital development in our country. Thank you. So we'll go straight to the presentation. I think I have 2 hours. We'll try to do it within that period. All right, so my profile has been read. I'm the CEO of Credit Pro. I'm a graduate of computer science and alumnus of Lagos Business School. I'm a chartered accountant. I'm a chartered credit administrator. I have 8 years plus in banking experience. I pioneered credit card business in Skybank. I have 13 plus years in entrepreneurship, and I've trained hundreds of small businesses. I've trained and mentored hundreds of small businesses. So this is my forte. This is what I do ordinarily finance. So when the request came that I should come and talk to young people about financial intelligence, money matter mastery, I said, okay, yeah, this is what I do. And I gladly jump on the request. All right, so let me quickly look at the training scope. Week 1, I'm supposed to facilitate for 3 weeks. That means 3 days. Every Tuesday, starting from today. So week 1 is going to talk about some basics, unveiling the basics of financial literacy. We need to know the terminology, which I know many young people are not interested in. Young people are more interested in sport, in music, in art and culture, in technology. But when it comes to finance, they are not interested. So let's try to break that barrier and try to, dissect all those terminologies and see the way we can all understand our young people. So week 2, we'll be talking about crafting your personal financial blueprints. And week 3, we'll be talking about the art of financial management. Then we are going deeper into the course. All right, thank you. Let me start by saying, what are your expectations? What are your expectations today? Don't just come to listen to a speaker talk. You also come with an expectation, so that we know at the end of today's session if your expectations have been met or otherwise. So can I have like 2, 3 volunteers that can tell me or tell us what their expectations are? Deborah? Yes, from the other section. How to grow wealth. All right, Deborah said she wants to learn more about how to grow wealth. Okay, so get a male contributor here, then we go to our online viewers or online guests. All right, so online participants, thank you. All right, so somebody from Istanbul? Thank you. So you want to make more money, you want to make multiple stream of income, fantastic. What's the name, sir? Chidoze, thank you. Chidoze wants to make more money by increasing his channels of income. So can we have contributions from other centers? What are your expectations from this series? Is it a 5-week series? What are your expectations? What are you coming with?
Understanding the financial markets.
All right, so please just introduce yourself and tell us what your expectations are from the training.
Understanding the financial markets. My name is Peter Ituma. So my name is Peter Ituma, and I'm hoping to understand the financial markets.
Financial what? Understand financial
markets and how it works.
Okay, thank you. And now it works. Thank you. You want to understand financial markets?
And how it works.
And now it works. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That's gotten. All right. Any other expectation from this series? Any other expectations from our online participants?
Please raise your hand so that
Okay.
the speaker can know.
All right. You can raise your hand if you are. Oh, anybody from here? Madam. Yeah, the expectation.
I want to know what message things I need to do if I want to run a business.
You want to know necessary things you need to do. You want to run a business. I hope this series will capture that. Well, let's see how it goes. You can also ask questions after. Okay, so run your own business. All right, thank you. So without wasting time, I think I've gotten about 5 feedback on our expectation, and as much as possible,
Can I add my
see
own?
how this. Okay, yes, sir.
Sincerely, I'm interested.
Yes, sir, please go ahead.
I would like to know, is there any advantage in somebody being young in being able to manage finances better than those who are old?
Okay, is there an advantage of a young guy being able to manage? Okay, all right.
Do they have more, do they have more, advantage than me, who is old?
Okay. What advantage of learning financial literacy? All right, thank you, sir. Young. Okay, so as much as possible, we try to do justice to some of your expectations, and I believe with my classes and the classes of my colleague who will be taking 2 sessions, we'll be able to cover a lot of your expectations. All right, so module 1, we'll be going straight to unveiling the basics of financial literacy. So I'm going to say a lot of jargon that you don't like, but one thing that you like is I'm going to break it down as much as possible. You understand? So many of us don't like accounting. I know. Some people have tried, I try and run away. They don't like accounting. You can make money and without understanding accounting. Okay, so but unfortunately, you need knowledge about accounting. For my sister that wants to do business, for you guys that want to create wealth, it all starts from your knowledge of money. It all starts from your knowledge of accounting. You can't understand money if you don't understand accounting, if you don't understand financial terminologies. So please, you're going to pardon me. I'm going to drive us through that part of accounting. Maybe after this session, you want to do ICANN too. All right. Thank you. That's on a lighter note. All right. So what is it? Financial literacy. What do you think is financial literacy? So we try to make this session as engaging as possible. At some point, we're going to have a poll during this class where everybody will log in and try to answer some questions online, and we'll see, the result of based on our feedback. So 2, 3 contributions. What is financial literacy? My friend.
My own area of understanding, I would say, how to manage.
Okay. Thank you. What's the name? What's the name, sir?
Christian.
He said? Christian said it's about understanding how to manage money, how to manage finance. Money is such a powerful thing. Money is an energizer, Money is an enabler. Money is like oil that makes the engine run smoothly. That is cash. In business world, we say cash is what? Cash is king, and cash is money. So it's talking about you understanding how money works and how to apply the knowledge appropriately. So so see, you don't have any wrong answer. Just say the way it is. There is no right or wrong definition of financial literacy. All right, so Nkechi?
I believe I think financial literacy is your understanding how we use financial skills.
How you use financial what?
Skills.
Good. Okay, so Nkechi is adding to what Christian said. Yeah, that is your understanding, not just understanding how money works, right? But the skills. How do you apply the skills you understand to your financial management? Okay, I think I have another. Literacy.
Knowledge. One asset. Assessments. People getting so why that it is favorable.
Okay, so thank you so much. I think this man has read Robert Kiyosaki's book. Have you reached that for that? He's already finding assets and what they have. Thank you. There's another perspective. We are going to go into details in the course of this session. All right, so can we go to our online participants? What is financial literacy to you? One or two contributions? I think we have Kano, guys in Kano, Bomosho. Can we have your contributions? What do you think is financial literacy? Do you have anyone raising up their hands? All right. So let's move on. Thank you. Yeah, definitions pretty in line with what I have here. The various financial skills, including personal financial management, budgeting, and investing. Financial management is about understanding money, how you create money, how you manage money, and using those skills that you have understood. So, manage your finances. You hear there is one advert that I normally watch on TV. I think is it Polaris? That two guys are playing, is it chess? And the lady comes in, and the two guys are complaining. With the kind of money we are making, we should not be having financial problem. And the lady says, it's because you don't have the right product, right? Each time I see that advert, I hope you know the advert. Oh, I think it's Polaris Bank, one of these banks. They are advert. No, it's all check Arise. Maybe you guys don't watch Arise. You watch African Magic. Yeah, channels and Arise. You see the advert there. Two guys playing chess, and the lady comes in and say, "Oh, you guys are having financial troubles. It's because you don't have the right financial product." And in my mind, I say, no. It's because these guys are not applying financial literacy in their funding, in their finances. Because they say, we make a lot of money, we should not be having financial trouble. So you see a lot of us still broke. For guys in paid employment, you lose your job in 6 months, you are gone. Why should it be like that? If you have worked for 10 years and you lose your job and 2-3 months, it's as if you have never worked in your life. So what does that mean? Financial literacy. We have not been paying attention to the way we manage our money, our finances. People say money is like a visitor. If you don't treat it well, it will leave you, right? So we don't just need to make money, we need to ensure that money stays with us. So that is financial literacy. All right, so it's about not just understanding, but effectively, like Ikechi said, using the financial skills, some of which you are going to gain from this series today. If you have any question, if I'm going too fast, if you have any terminology that you think I should break down, please try to call my attention. Are we still on the same page? I hope I have not lost my audience. All right, thank you. All right, next slide. Now let's look at this definition. Financial literacy is the knowledge of budgeting, savings, and investment, enabling individuals to make informed decisions about their financial. See, the guys that are rich are the guys that actually take more informed decisions. The guys that are poorer, they want to show that they have money. The rich guy is going to price everything. Abi, he is going to buy on credit. The poor guy wants to pay cash because he doesn't like this in quotes, right? We don't like debt, Abi. Oh, no, let me pay. I don't want debt. So as a result, we don't take advantage of what debt can offer to you. But the rich guy understands financial management. He understands how he can create wealth by using other people's money. Financial literacy. Are we on the same page? Financial literacy. So you can see that it's important that we understand financial literacy and how we can apply it to our finances. Dangote's refinery is valued at how much? Say it. Thank you, $20 billion. How much of it do you think is his money? Today, the whole world is shouting Dangote. He has been able to maximize the advantage of what? Debt. Meanwhile, if you see, if I want to give you 2 million, I run a credit company. If I say, come and collect it, no, I don't want debt. And we remain where we are. You can see that you need financial literacy. All right, thank you. So, financial literacy, I have another title at the definition here. Next slide. Okay, yeah. Financial literacy is possessing skills and knowledge on financial matters to confidently take effective action that best fulfills an individual, personal, family, and global community goals. It's about having the right skills, having the right understanding to take the right decisions. What you don't know, what you don't have, you cannot do. The reason why American Spaces is organizing this is for you to have the knowledge so that you can give and apply it in your personal life. Now, let's simplify all these top definitions we've been talking about. Number one, 3 key things stand out in financial literacy. And number one is knowledge. You need knowledge. You need to know. And this is what we are doing now. You need to know terminologies in financial world. You need to know the kind of financial products. You need to know the different aspects of financial market, like the guy online, actually asked. You need to know what kind of decision you should take, what kind of decisions you should not take. So we are a product of our decision making. You see a guy that is doing well, another guy that is struggling, not because they don't serve God, they both serve God. But one is taking the right decision, and one is likely not taking the right decision. The same thing applies to our finances. Yeah, it applies to our finances. So the second thing is skills. We have the knowledge, then being able to apply that knowledge to manage one's personal finances. Those are your skills. Then confidence, feeling sufficiently self-assured that you are making the right decision as regards your finances. You understand? So those 3 things typify the explanation, the definition of financial literacy. The knowledge about money, the skills that you need to, you can apply to your financial management, and the confidence financial literacy gives you that, yes, I've taken the right decision, even though my mommy doesn't like it, even though my family thinks I'm stingy. Unfortunately, this is the right financial decision. You are living your life. You're not living for other people. And it's until you run into trouble before you know that, man, you are better off being afloat. Few people can help you in life. Very few people. Yeah. I've been there, so a lot of people have gone through that process. You realize that when you have trouble, then you see those people that are begging you for support when you have the money are not going to be there to help you out. So when you have the money, you need to manage your finances so that you can be good for yourself and for them in the later year. All right. If there's any question, you can write it out. You can note it in your paper and or raise up your hand and let's deliberate on it. All right. Next class discussion. Why is financial literacy so important? Why do you think financial literacy is so? We have, created a common ground by trying to tell us what financial literacy is all about. Now, why do you think we need financial literacy, Christian?
Just as I actually stated earlier, just not to get yourself into trouble in the future, because there is no understanding how to manage money, how to get in trust. But you stated about your family and friends who were going to give us some money. They get to trouble, they wouldn't able to assist you. They really understanding that literacy in finance will assist you.
Fantastic. Thank you, Christian. That's spot on. Yeah, any other contributions? Christian said, if you have a good master of financial literacy, you will not likely fall into financial troubles, which is spot on. Guys that understand finance will not invest in MMM. You will really not. Yes, you will not. Your lack of financial literacy is what is making you think that you can give somebody 10,000 today and it will become 50,000 in the next 1 week. It's because you are not financially literate. You are gambling. Yeah, the financial literate will say, no, it's not possible. It doesn't make sense. Exactly. So that you don't get into trouble, you need financial literacy. What's the name? Mubarak. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Finances, decision making. We need financial literacy is important so that you can take right decisions. I told you earlier that we are a product of the kind of decision we made last year, right? Product of the kind of decision we made while we were in school. Some people were enjoying life. They want to pass through the school and they want the school to pass through them, and they ended up making top class. Yes, it's a decision they made. Why some guys are saying, no, I want to make 2-1 or first class, and they ended up making 2-1 first class. After 10 years, you look back at your school days and say, wow, I didn't know. So you are a product of your decision. So financial literacy is important because it helps you to take the right decision about your finances. Yeah, any contribution from the online participants? We don't want to leave you behind. Somebody raise his hand? Hope they are listening to us. Okay. We would like to hear from you guys, Ogbomoso, Kano, and other areas. Don't make it a Lagos thing. It's one Nigeria. All right, so any other contribution? The lady at the back. Why do you think financial literacy is important? Yes, you. Decision is about decision. So let's go to the next slide. Why is financial literacy important? I have some point here. Number one, I say it improves your knowledge about money and its management. It brings clarity on basic financial concepts so that when you are in a meeting and they are talking about financial terminologies, you don't miss out. You don't need to be you don't need to be a chartered accountant. You don't need to be a financial expert before you make contributions when it comes to financial discussion, right, Christian? Exactly. So financial literacy will help you bridge that gap. It allows you to make well-articulated financial decisions about investing, saving, insurance, managing debt, buying a house, child education, retirement planning. Can you see that it's not just about money? Even the education of your child is a financial decision. The kind of house where you stay is a financial decision. You want to stay abroad, you want to stay here, it's actually a financial decision because everything you do has to do with money. And once it involves money, then it's a financial decision. So financial literacy will help you to take the right decision. It helps individuals achieve financial stability and freedom. Financial stability and freedom if you know how to manage your money. It helps you to manage your debt better. A lot of people are owing in Nigeria. Debt, you see people committing suicide because of debt. People faking kidnapping because of debt. A lot of things happen because of debt. So financial literacy will also help you to manage your debt in such a way that it will not be a problem for you. It allows you to build a good credit history, and upon it all, financial literacy will give you peace of mind, which is what everybody wants. If you are financially literate, you will not borrow for consumable, right? For consumption. If you are financially literate, you will not borrow to show off. You will not travel on vacation when you actually don't have the resources if you're financially literate. So financial literacy will give you peace of mind. I wrapped everything up and I said, financial literacy will give you the ability to take sound financial decisions. That's it. Those three words, sound, not just financial decision, sound financial decision. You are not going to borrow for the wrong purpose. Borrowing is not a bad thing. My job is to give money. So I like people to come and borrow. That's the only way I make money. Why should we say borrowing is bad? Borrowing is not bad, guys. But when we borrow for the wrong reason, it is a problem. And you see guys borrow and divert the money. You want to borrow money that is due in the next 2 months for you to pay back. They want to use it to go and buy land at Mowe that you are not going to reap in the next 10 years. When the money that you borrow for 2 months is due to pay the financial institution, the land you bought at Mowe is not due for you to sell, then you run into financial problem. So financial literacy will allow you to make sound financial judgment, sound financial decision, and you have peace. You have peace. This is key for us, All right, so we're going to have a questionnaire right now. And I would like the guys in our diaspora participants, the guys online, to also join us in this questionnaire. So we have, go to www.menti.com and put that code. Let's quickly have a questionnaire. We are going to answer these questions, and let's see our level of financial literacy to see if we are really financially literate or not. We are going to have like 10, 15, less than 10 minutes to do this. If you are there, let me see your hand. You don't have, just go to that website, menti.com. We have about 10 questionnaires, 10 questions in the questionnaire, and we want to view our answers and see how literate we are financially. Are we there? Where's the phone? Okay, so please pick your phone. Christian, are you there? Okay, so the guy, check if anybody is answering. Okay, leave. Okay, menti.com. That is the code. Is everybody okay now? Can we check? Have you been able to log in? You've answered the first question? Okay, good. Do you have a network problem? Are you in now? www.menti.com is a questionnaire. I hope the guys online are also participating. Please, we need your participation. Very important. All right. Can you check? Okay, so all you need to do is just to log in, put that code in the questionnaire, and answer the first question. You are there. You've answered the first question. Okay. Okay, that is your network. Have you done the first question?
Yeah.
Good. Move to the next. Can you see it? Project it. All right, so the questionnaire is about, okay, so you can see, fantastic. All right, so please try to answer. A lot of people are answering. That is interesting. I know how to access financial services in form of loans and other services so that I can achieve my financial goals. About 10 people say yes, they can. They understand this very well, which is thumbs up. 12 people say yes. 6 people are saying no, they don't know. And 11 people are saying we are not sure. So more than 50% of the respondents are saying they don't know how, they are not, either they don't know or they are not sure of how to access financial services in form of loans and other services so that they can achieve their financial goals. Thank you. We need to move on to the next question so that you can answer the next question. Next one. Is it okay now? Okay, so I know how to manage debt to increase my financial net worth. 15 people say, yes, they can manage debt. 15 people, interesting. 4 people are saying, okay, so moving. Are you all done here? Second question? Okay, next one. We have 10 minutes for this session. I make good financial choices about saving, spending, and managing debt throughout financial decision. Your decision is very good. You can comfortably say, yes, I make right decisions each time when it comes to my financial life. Okay, so be truthful as much as possible is a questionnaire. Don't worry, there's no right or wrong answer. Okay, so I think we can move to the next question quickly. I understand the key financial products I may need throughout my life, including bank accounts, retirement plans, and basic investment like stock, etc. Yeah, like my friend that asked the question, I had a question about financial markets, money market, capital markets. You want to understand, okay, so how well do you understand it? 8 people, 9 people say yes. Okay, so he said
Yes.
it's going down. Yeah, because no, it's going up. All right, can we go? Next one. I understand basic financial concepts like compound interest, investment return on investment return, risk and diversification, and so on and so on. There is no right or wrong answer. It's about you. Just participate in the question in the online poll. 40 people say no, they don't. And 4 people are saying maybe either yes or no. Next one, next question. I discuss money and financial issues, even if I don't really like to talk about them, meaning that ordinarily, yes, you discuss money, you always find yourself discussing money, and everybody should say yes to this one. Everybody, thank you, Adini. Everybody should say, yeah, I can understand. Yeah, we all talk about money. We all talk about money. Either we understand finances or financial management or not. Money is key. Cash is king. All right, thank you. Next one. Yeah, this is good. It's expected. I respond completely to changes that affect my everyday financial well-being, including events in the general economy, e.g. inflation, unemployment. I can know how to adjust so I can remain afloat, so I don't go under. No matter what happens in the economy, I know what to do. I know how to manage my finances, how to adjust my budget in such a way that I remain liquid. I'm not insolvent. Okay, so good. A lot of us actually, 17 people say yes, they can. They have wisdom now. If you don't know how to manage yourself, maybe you go out in the street and start begging. So I expect this. So next one. I am conscious of my savings and ensure I stick to my plan irrespective of the financial pressure. That means you budget. You have a budget and no amount of ashwebi will make you derail from your budget. Right? So if that is true, then we can answer. Yes, 15 people, 17 people, they are conscious of their savings. So they save, no matter the challenges, they save. All right, thank you. Thank you. Next one. I am conscious of the effect of inflation on my finances and make necessary actions to mitigate the effect. Like inflation, what are inflation rate now? It is galloping, so it changes every month. What are inflation rates? I know we are not up to 30% yet, so are we up to 30%? You should be interested in things like this. What are inflation rates? You can Google it. What's the inflation rate for? I think we should add the figure for December. 26. I know we are still less than 30%. Don't worry. We've not crossed the one. Okay, so next one. Okay, so this is the end. All right, so can we see the analysis? All right, so for question 1. All right, so while we wait for, are you good? Okay, so the questionnaire is actually about how financially literate we are. And from the responses, feedback we have, it shows that 50% of us are still not financially literate. And, you don't need to deceive yourself. It is what it is. All right, so let's go back. Let's now make you financially literate. Let's try to make you financially literate. So I don't expect anybody to start using. We are going to go into is the topic of the day. And as I said, I will try as much as possible to break it down for you in such a way. Please go back to my presentation in such a way that we all understand. Okay, so financial literacy concepts. Let's go accounting. Let's talk about some accounting terminologies. We all hear about asset, about liability. Am I right? About equity, about income, expense, different accounting terminologies. So I would like us to, delve more into it so that everybody can understand what an asset is, what liability is, what equity is, income and expenses are. All right, so next one. So what is an asset? What is an asset? An asset is something you own or control in order to derive economic benefit from its use. An asset is something you own or you control in order to derive economic benefit from it. What are the examples of an asset? From the man in cap, example of an asset? Yes, of course, you understand it.
Something like
Yes, example. Business and assets, okay. At the back?
This for the driver.
Yes.
Buying that is using.
Yes.
It's an asset to you.
It's an asset to you. A car is an asset. Yes. Yes. A land is an asset. Fantastic. That man is an investor. Oh, yeah, from this angle? A fish pond is an asset, right? A pond is an asset. Yes, a pond is an asset. Any other examples from here? Cash is an asset. The most important asset is what? Cash. Cash is king. Cash is more important than any other asset because cash is liquid, right? Every other asset, you are going to convert it to cash before you can really say, okay, this is my money, right? So cash is an asset. Any other asset? Your house, yes, land, house, your assets. Your shoe is an asset, isn't it? You don't know? Your shirt is an asset, right? So an asset is anything that you own, that you derive economic benefit from its use. That is an asset. What belongs to you is what? An asset. Are you with me? What belongs to us is what? An asset. So what you own is your asset. The $20 billion refinery is an asset to Dangote and maybe Nigeria, NNPC. NNPC has 20% of that holding. It's an asset. The entire pipes and coal, they are actually an asset. So an asset is anything that you own that belongs to you, that you also derive economic value from, is an asset. Asset can be categorized into two. We have assets that in accounting, we call it current assets, and assets that are called fixed assets. Current assets are assets that oftentimes within 12 months, you will not have them again. I'm trying to break it down as much as possible. We need to be financially literate. We have agreed, right? So assets that have a lifespan of, let's say, 1 month to 12 months is called a current asset. Are we together? Then assets that you likely use beyond 12 months are called fixed or non-current assets. Is it clear? So your computer, is it a current or a non-current asset? Your computer is a fixed what? Asset, because you don't want to use your computer with 6 months and throw it away. Am I right? So one way or the other is still a what? A long-term asset. Your television is what? Is it a fixed asset or a current asset? Is a fixed asset, right? The rice you have in your house, that one bag of rice is an asset. Do you know that? Because it belongs to you, right? You own it. Christian, is it a current asset or a fixed asset? Is it what? It's depending on the number of family. Fantastic. Okay, so but it's more of a current asset, right? Why is it a current asset? Below 1 year, you must finish your rights now. In this Nigerian economy. If it's not well, So any asset, I appreciate the fact that you guys are getting interested in this. So, and that is my objective today. It's always a difficult thing to teach, you understand? So, but we'll try and break it down so that when you go, we start talking like an accountant, maybe you can be convinced to go and start your ICANN. Yeah. Okay, so your current asset are assets that you likely use up or throw away within 1 year. Meanwhile, fixed assets are assets that you would likely, use. You don't plan to sell it. For instance, who are business people here? Business people. Chido, you're a businessman. Any other businessman? Fantastic. Christian, businessman. Oh, what's the name, sir? Raouf, you're a businessman. And the online participants. I wish we could hear more from them. I didn't. All right, fantastic. Let me throw a puzzle. We just said that assets that we likely turn to cash, Abi, or we eat or use up our current what? Asset. An asset that we last more than 1 year, Abi, fixed asset, right? And we said car is what? Car. Yes, car is like a fixed asset. Am I right? To me, a car is a fixed asset, right? Are we on the same page? Christian sells cars. He sells cars. Why is it a current asset?
Because anybody can come.
Can you clap for that man? He's highly interested in financial literacy. He's making my job much easier. Christian sells a car. Christian owns a car. He likes, what car do you drive? Or what car do you like to drive? Toyota what? Toyota Highlander 2020. Abi? All right, that is a dream car. You want to use it for about 3, 4, 5 years, right? So to him, that car is what? Is it a fixed asset or a current asset? It's a fixed asset because you're going to use it for like next 5 years when you buy it. But you also sell cars. You sell Honda Pilot, you sell Mercedes-Benz, ML, you have those 2 cars that you want to sell. Those 2 cars to you, are they current asset or fixed assets? Good. So I don't want us to get confused. A current asset are assets. It can be a house. It can be this. It can be your shoe. It can be rice at home. There are assets that you likely consume or turn to cash within a period of not more than 12 months. Do you understand? Meanwhile, a fixed asset is an asset that you likely derive economic benefit from for a period beyond 12 months. So what makes an asset fixed or current is not the size. Is what? Is the purpose. Are we together? Are we together? Are we still confused? Fantastic. So you see a car, an accountant will tell you, car is fixed asset. But to Christian that sells car, those cars are not fixed assets. They are what? For a company that's into real estate, those houses, are they current asset or fixed assets? Why are they current assets? Because they want to sell them. They are like bottled water to Seaway that is making this water. This water is stock. They are current asset to them. So the way Seaway will account for this water in their financials is the way that real estate company will account for those big buildings that are worth 50 million, 80 million in their financials. So what defines an asset, whether they are current or fixed, is the purpose for holding that asset. Clap for me. Thank you. All right. So I think we are following. So these are financial terminologies. So don't be scared when you hear assets, fixed or current asset. There's no big deal about it. You understand? And everything you do around your finances revolves around these assets. Liability. Every day of your life, we are acquiring assets. We are acquiring liability. That is what we do as human beings. Simple. From the accounting point of view, everything we do, we are either, you're coming here, you are acquiring asset, knowledge. Yes, you are acquiring, it's either you are acquiring assets or liability. All right, thank you. If you have any questions, as I said, let's go to liability. You can pencil down your questions, and during the Q&A session, we can delve more into them. A liability is what you owe. An asset is what you own. Am I right? And a liability is what you owe. So if you are owing house rent, it's a liability. Am I right? It's a liability. If you are one of the people that go to OPay to collect money, and they are not, you are PayPay to collect money, that money that you have collected, you will pay. You will still pay. You can see their name, PayPay, OPay. It's because you are going to pay. Yes, it's because you are going to pay. Either you run or you don't run, you are going to pay. So that's on a lighter note. All right, so liability are what you owe to another person. Do you understand? Are liability good or bad? You're a businessman. Are liabilities good or bad? Fantastic. Thank you. Yeah, my friend, what's the name? Liability is bad. Credit is good. Yes, liability is bad. Credit is good. What's the difference between liability and credit?
Liability takes
fantastic. Your assets, yeah.
While credit includes as a pressure.
Yes, you must have been reading motivational books. Yes, it's interesting. You actually try to confuse us. You understand? But credit is a liability. Loan is a liability. But Chigode was right. It depends on what you use that liability for that makes it good or bad. You increase your net worth through liability. You understand? So liability is what you owe to an external party and you need to pay. And your liability, just like our assets, our liability can either be current or what? Long term. Current if you need to pay within 12 months. Long term if you still have more than 12 months to pay. Is that clear? So our liability, if your rent was due in December, it's a liability because you are owing, right? Is it a current liability or long-term liability? It's what? Because you're supposed to pay within what? Within 12 months, you must pay. Or God, they will chase you out. Chase you out. You understand? So it's a current liability. You understand? And if you take a mortgage to, you want to finance a property maybe for the next 20, 25 years, is it a current liability or a long-term liability? It's a long-term liability. So liability can be current or long-term, and it's a function of how quickly or when are you supposed to settle that liability that determine whether it is a current liability or a long-term liability. Any gray area? Are we still on the same page? Have I lost my audience? The guys in diaspora, they are not participating in this class, and I'm not happy. The Kano guys, the Oshobo guys, please, we need conversation, we need your contribution too. All right, we need your contribution. Hope they are still with us. All right, thank you. All right, so we've talked about assets, we've talked about liability. Now we are going into equity. We are going into equity. Equity is your net worth. Equity is your what? Net worth. Equity is your net worth. It is derived by deducting your liability from your assets. That is what belongs to you. Am I right? The equity is your net worth. It is how you are valued. For instance, somebody has a property that is worth 20 million, and that is all that he has, nothing else, for instance, but he's owing 25 million to a bank. What is his net worth?
Minus 5 million.
Minus 5 million. That is brilliant. That is what is worth. That is what is worth. It's not worth 20 million. That is the asset. Abi? But you own asset of 20 million. It's not worth, he has a liability of 25 million. So his net worth is the total asset that you have, less the total liability that you have. That is your net worth. So if you are borrowing for consumption, Chigote said that you are borrowing to travel to, where do you like to have your holiday? Dubai, correct. You go, but don't borrow to go. If you are borrowing to finance your lifestyle, then what are you doing? You are building your liability without building your assets. Does that sound reasonable to you? That's what it means. So when people say, if you are borrowing for consumption, it's not good. We say that in Nigeria a lot. You see in the market, in the space, social media space, why are we borrowing for consumption? It's not good. Borrowing is not bad. But if you borrow for consumption, it means that you are borrowing to increase your liability side, Abi. Meanwhile, it's not affecting your asset side. So your net worth, what does it have to do to your net worth? It reduces something that you are brilliant. It reduces your net worth. Simple. So your borrowing on its own is very good. Ask Dangote. Borrowing is good. You derive a lot of benefits from borrowing. You maintain control, and your interest you pay is deducted before you arrive at the tax that you are going to pay. Borrowing is good to create value, to build wealth. But when you borrow for consumption, you borrow to travel, you borrow to do what you should not, you can delay. Then that borrowing is not affecting your assets. Dangote's borrowing is affecting his asset. Am I right? The refinery is valued at 20 billion. How much is his borrowing? It should be less than 20 billion. Meaning that from that refinery alone, he has created wealth using other people's funds. Am I speaking sense to you? Are we together?
Yes, sir.
I've not lost you, have I? Thank you. So you must not just be interested in your assets or in your liability, but in your net worth. And as I said, liability is not bad. But if you borrow money on OP to enjoy, to go to cinema, to travel, you are not increasing your assets. You are not increasing your assets. And as a result, when the borrowing doesn't increase your asset, what does it do to your net worth? What does it do to your net worth? Say it out. So when next you are borrowing money online. All right, that's on the lighter note. Thank you. Hope we are together in this session. Fantastic. All right. So that is how we discussed equity. Equity, we say equity in business. For personal finance, we say net worth. The net worth is your worth. It's how much you are actually valued. So you are not valued by your assets. You are valued by your net worth. And your net worth is your total asset less your total liability. That is what you are really worth. Thank you. Let's talk about income. We are almost 1 hour, and I believe we are adding value. I think your coming here is not in vain, right? So by the time you go back, you have to start talking finance, start talking financial terminology. That's why we're trying to break it down in such a way that you can relate with. Income. Your income is the flow of cash. We all know income. And your income can be active income or passive income, right? Your active income is like your salary. What you make, Christian is a businessman, Chigozie is a businessman. If you sell water, the cash you collect when you sell this water is your what? Active income. Is your operating income. Is the income that you are sure that you likely make next month. Am I right? So, but your passive income and other type of income from investments, you have savings that you are earning interest on. Those ones are called your what? Passive income. So as a young man, you don't just focus on your active income. You need to start developing skills that can also help you achieve some kind of passive income so that your take home can take you. You understand? The unfortunate thing is that inflation is growing faster than the rate at which companies are increasing salary. It's not our fault. I'm an employer of labor too. How many times do you want to increase salary? So I encourage my team. I have a team of very young, vibrant, smart people. And we have to learn the habit of making extra income. On your weekend, what else can you do? What skills have you acquired that can help you to make extra income? So you guys are young people, I'm challenging us. Learn skills. Data science, in website development, coding. Learn skills that from home you can also make an income. My brother that introduced me asked a question about, is it better to learn this thing when you are younger than when you are older? Yeah, there's some things our age cannot do. You understand? Because our risk appetite is now very low. We cannot take some risk any longer. Before you take any risk, you look at your children, you look at your wife, you look at your family, you look at your dependents. But when you guys are still young, many are not married, you can take some risk. So learn, you have all the time now to increase your passive income. You understand? So that when you make money from your active work, which is your active income, you also have 1 or 2 streams of income that you can make. In doing this, my own advice, don't fall into another MMM. That's the most important thing. Don't say because you want to make passive income and somebody is promising you 100% return in 1 week. See, it's scam. It's going to be a lie. You understand? There's one that crashed not too long ago. The one in dollars. What is it called? I've forgotten. Omega. Omega Pro. Oh, you didn't hear about Omega Pro? Omega Pro. Oh, okay. So Omega Pro was in dollar investment, and a lot of people made a lot of money from it. And eventually, because he's what do you call it? This marketing stuff, MLM, or what's it called? So you collect money here to pay these people, and those things, in as much as they're not backed by fundamentals, it will crash. It's just a matter of time. So the guys that come in early, cash out. The guys that come in late are the one paying for the fortune that the guys that come in early. So I've acquired. So my advice for you, any return that doesn't make sense to you, don't invest in it. If you see that return, 100%, you are taking a big risk. Your risk is actually 500%. If they tell you, the return here within 1 week is 100%, then think in your mind, what is the risk? What are the risks? The risk is far, far more than the return they are promising you. And oftentimes that risk will crystallize. All right, so that is that about having extra income. So don't be under pressure because you want to have beyond 1 million naira you have in your account that is safe in an interest earning account. It's better than dropping it with one random guy that want to double it for you in the next 1 week. And I can assure you. So please try to understand the investment you are going into. Anything that is not very clear to you, I advise you don't invest in it. So lastly, let's talk about expenses. Expenses are costs incurred by an entity in the ordinary course of business. So entity expenses, of course, you all know expenses. All of you guys came here, some of you took Uber, is an expense, right? It's going away from your pocket. It's like a liability in quote for you. So expenses can be fixed expense, can be variable expense. Fixed expense are your rent, they are your loan repayment, they are your taxes, insurance, utilities. They are things that you must spend. You understand? So there are things that either you like it or not, you must, no matter the economy, you must spend on this one. These are your expenses. But there are some variable expenses. There are some avoidable expenses. The fixed expenses are also known as unavoidable expenses. Am I right? You must pay your landlord for you to remain in that house. If I'm your landlord, you don't pay me, I'll chase you out. You know, if you are not familiar, I'll chase you out. You understand? So you have to plan it with your with your budget. So, but there are some avoidable expenses. Expenses that you don't need to incur. You want to travel on vacation. You want to go to cinema. Okay, you can subscribe to Netflix. Abi? Funke Akindele's film is not yet on Netflix. It will still come. It will still come. On the lighter note, we are talking about financial discipline, financial management. So you look at the variable expenses, which of them can you avoid? Which of these expenses can you avoid? Don't copy. Don't live your life to copy people. You understand? So look at the expenses that you cannot avoid. There's plans for them. Then look at the expenses you can avoid. Then maybe when you have passive income, you can throw some small change into it and enjoy your life a little bit. You understand? So that is expenses. So we've talked about the 5 building blocks of accounting. Number 1 is what? Number 2 is what? Number 3 is what? Capital or equity. Number 4 is what? Number 5 is what? Please clap for yourself. Clap for yourself well. You are following. So the 5 major components of all accounting discussion. Anything accounting is either an asset or a liability, an equity, expense, or what? Income. These are the 5 classes of accounts. You can see, I kind of 5 years, I've broken it down for you in 1 hour. So you can go and do it. All right, so now we go to what we call accounting equation. Accounting equation is asset is equals to liability plus equity. Asset is equals to liability plus equity. And what does that mean? Look at it, look at that equation. Asset is equals to liability plus what? Equity. This stipulates that all assets owned by you, an entity, is acquired either by debt, liability, or by contribution made by the owners of the entity, which is you are the entity. So what am I saying? Every asset you have is either you borrow money, Abi, or you make profit and buy it. I want to break it down. It's either you borrow money to buy it, or you make profit from your Christian business and buy it. That's how you achieve your assets. So if you are borrowing money, liabilities, and you are not using it to buy assets, are you increasing your net worth or not? You are reducing your net worth. So accounting equation is saying every asset, for instance, if you buy a car today, that car is worth 4 million naira. You buy it with either borrowing money, maybe 3 million, and adding your own 1 million, making 4 million. So you have an asset that is 4 million, you have liability on that car of what? 3 million, and you have your own personal money of what? 1 million. So when you want to, for people that did mathematics very well, change your equation. Abi, let's make what the subject of the formula now? Equity. God bless you. Let's make equity the subject of the formula. What will happen? It will become what? Asset minus liability. Come on, you can see how simple accounting is. Yeah. So if you want to make equity the subject of the formula, if you flip liability upon the equals to sign, it carries what? Minus sign, right? So equity becomes asset minus liability. Remember my first example? I said if you buy a property of 20 million, but you have borrowed 25 million to buy that property, what is your net worth? Minus 5 million. So your equity become minus 5 million. That is accounting equation. So why are people going for ICANN? This one is okay now. You can become a chartered accountant already. All right, on a lighter note. So we don't have a choice. We need to break it down so we make it enjoyable because the terminology that young people run away from. So what we are trying to do is to make it so accessible, something that you guys can relate with. All right. So we've talked about assets, we talk about liability, we've talked about equity, we talk about income, we talk about expenses, and lastly, we spoke about accounting equation, which says asset is equals to liability plus what? Equity. Any question from our guys online? Mr. Adini, is there any question from the guys online? We need to hear from them. I hope they are following us. No question. Can they confirm if they are following and enjoying the class? We need to carry them along, please. Are they following the class? Are we together?
Yes, they are.
Okay. Thank you. If you have any question, you can post it, you can share it. Let's hear from you. All right, so thank you. Now we've talked about those five blocks of accounting: asset, liability, equity, income, and expenses. And we've done a lot of analysis to drive home our points. So let's go further into the financial terminologies. Let's talk about budget. Budget is very important. We spoke about expenses. And we said expenses is not good. It's not really good. Nobody likes to spend. When you buy data, you are not always happy. No, it's normal. When you are buying that data, you're not happy. When you have that data, hey, yes, I have data. It's always like that. So we don't want to spend. But we cannot but spend. Am I right? Abroad, they will tell you in the UK, you must pay your bills. So you see guys working 2 shifts, 2 hours, two jobs on the same time. Why? Because they want to cover their expenses. Now, because expenses are not avoidable, what do we do to expenses? To make sure that income covers our expenses. Yeah, to make sure that income covers our expenses, meaning that you are correct. But as a finance person, I would say, so I'm working for money. Meaning that I earn and I spend. I'm working for money. I want to control my money. I want to send my money on a message. I want to provide a direction for how my money should go. That is the problem with many of us. We earn so much, we earn so little, but whether you earn so much or you earn so little, if you cannot control where every naira of what you earn goes, you are going to have a financial problem. Am I speaking sense to somebody? So that is simple. So it's not about what you earn, it's about what you do with what you earn. So it's not about what you earn, it's about what you do with what you earn, financial literacy. And that is where budget. Budget is a very fundamental topic in this series. We are still going to do budgets. We are still going to do, at later time, we're going to do budgets. Suddenly, I'm going to talk to you. There will be like a short case study, maybe again the next session that we share with our participants. And let's drive this home. You understand? So by the end of this series, we must make sure that everybody knows how to do budgets or how to make a budget of your finances. A plan that takes into account estimated current and future income and expenses for a specified future time period, usually a month or a year, is a budget. A budget is a plan. Oftentimes, the country will say we are making a 1 year budget. And personally, you want to make a 1 month budget. So your budget is focusing on two things. What are the two things the budget is focusing on? Your expense and income. So your budget is focusing on your income. How much are you earning? Your active income, your passive income, and your expenses, your fixed expenses, and your what? And your what? Now, your fixed expenses and your what? And your what? Now we don't do your variable expenses. Thank you. Your fixed expenses and your variable expenses. That is budget is very important. You don't spend money the way you earn the money. So a budget will allow you have an estimation of the money you are expecting, both active and passive. Then you need to plan how, because expenses are not good. They are necessary evil. You know, in school, they used to call it oxymoron, Abi? Necessary evil. Necessary is a good thing, evil is a bad thing. So when you put two conflicting words together, it's called what? An oxymoron. So expenses are necessary evil. They are oxymoron. We don't like them, but we cannot avoid them. If you like, say you are fighting Tinubu, you don't want to buy fuel. Then when you stay at home, you must buy that fuel at 600. And how much is it now? 610, thank God. Not 650 years. All right, it's interesting. We'll be fine as a country. All right, so what do? We need to manage that expenses, meaning that we cannot be buying fuel at 610 and be going all around Lagos saying that, which of those meetings can we do online? That is managing our expenses. Which of these expenses can we avoid totally? And which ones are sacrosanct that we must incur? That is our budget. So let's talk about budget. Having a budget keeps your spending in check and makes sure that your savings are on track for the future. Hey, I was once like some of you. I remember when I was so young, fine young man, started banking career with Now Bank. We are earning so much. We are earning so much. I wish I had some of these trainings then. And because young guys, mobile, no family, guys enjoy life now. But you guys are younger, and this great institution is organizing a series like this for you so that you can have a better future than many of us. That is the reason why you're having this session. So it's better you start early, so that by the time you start making your decisions, it's about your future, not about your today. All right, so let's talk about budgeting. There are 3 types of budgeting. Majorly 3 types of budgeting. And interestingly, for personal budgeting, rather, I'm not talking about business budgeting. So for personal budgeting, which is what affects us in this series, we are going to talk about 3 types of budgeting. We have a budget called the 50-30-20 rule. 50-30-20 budgeting rule. Very interesting. 50-30-20 budgeting rule. What does it say? It's saying dedicate 50% of your budget to your needs, dedicate 30% of your budget to your wants, and 20% to your savings. Who wants to explain it further? It's self-explanatory. Who does budgeting here? Who budgets? One way or the other. You budget. Fantastic. We're going to talk in the course of this program. Yes. So this 50, 30, 20 rule, budgeting rule, is saying that if you earn 1 million in a month, try to manage your needs to be how many percent? 50, which is how much? 500K. Use that 500K for your utilities, your rent. These are your needs. So I think that they are fixed. Am I right?
Yeah.
There are things that if you don't pay, you are going to enter into trouble. You want to send money to mama in the village, 20, 30K. Add it, it's your need. You must cover it. You want to pay for DSTV. Is it a need or you want DSTV? You need to be informed. It's not a need. It's a want. It's a want, really. For me, it's a need. If you want to buy data, is it a want or a need?
No, but data is a need.
Data is a need. So subscription, DSTV is also a need. It depends. It depends. All right. So in essence, your car repayment, like finance a loan for you to buy your car. If you don't pay me, I'll come and seize the car. No, I don't care. I'll come and seize your car. So it's a need for you. Do you understand? It's not a want for you. So this 50, 30, 20 budgeting rule is saying, look at your expenses. And the ones that need, ensure that they are no more than 50% of what you earn. The one that you want to do shopping, you want to dine, you want to go to cinema, 30%, no more than that. Save 20% of your income. That is it. It's a very crude way of budgeting. I earn 1 million, I must save 200K. No matter what happens, it will be between my need and my want. Eventually, you end up saving, right? Because those go and throw that money. The reason why we also don't save is because we easily have access to all our money. Let me tell you one secret. Open an account that you don't have access to. Don't collect check on that account. Don't collect ATM card on that account. Once you have that money, transfer that money to that account. You don't really have access to it. And be committed that in 1 year, I will not touch this money. You will realize that in 1 year, you have saved a lot. And follow this rule. Any amount you make, 20%, goes into that account. That really it becomes so difficult for you to assess, except there's an emergency. So that is the 50, 30, 20 budgeting rule. 50% for your needs, things that you cannot do without. 30% for your wants, you want to enjoy some life. Then 20% for your savings. So if I were you, I would flip that 30-20. 30% for my savings, 20% for my wants. Yes. If I want to go with this very basic, crude way of budgeting, I'll put 20% for my savings, for my wants, and 30% for my savings. So that is the budget. So whether you earn 100K in a month or you earn 1 million in a month, you are the reason why you are not budgeting. So the reason why you're not budgeting is not because you're not earning enough. It's because you have conditioned yourself that, no, this money is too small, I can't budget. You can earn 100K and still budget. If, okay, I want to save 20,000 from this 100K, it gives you the consciousness that you need to earn more. Am I right? And you need to earn more passive income. So please, this is number one, budgeting. I'm looking at the time too. All right, monthly expense. Okay, so zero-based budgeting. Zero-based budgeting is quite very interesting. We've talked about the 50, 30, 20 budgeting style. I think everybody is clear with that. Now let's talk about the zero-based budgeting. Monthly expenses and savings are subtracted from your take-home. And at the end of the day, it becomes zero. What am I saying? If you earn 1 million, just write down all the things that are going to go up on that 1 million. At the end of the month, at the end of the day, you don't have anything to spend on. It's a very more conservative way of budgeting. Am I speaking sense? So the zero-based budgeting is saying when you take all your expense from your income, you are left with what? Nothing. Am I right? So it's not about want or need. No, everything can be your need and savings. Then at the end of the day, zero. We're going to have some practical discussion around this, maybe second or third series. You understand? So for now, we're just trying to lay the foundation. For zero-based budgeting, you say you are earning 100,000 naira. How do you want to spend that 100,000 naira? 20K for transport, 20K for feeding, 5K for data, 10K for savings. At the end, 0 is the balance. So if this man comes to meet me and says, "Oga, please, I need 5,000. Oh boy. You are not part of that budget. Even now, you are not part of that budget. There's nothing you are going to say. You are not part of the budget. So it's a more conservative way. But you know what happens? We don't have budget. So Christian comes, "Oga, I need 5K now. 5K, 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 5K. Send the 5K. And after that, I've sent 5K to Christian. No, I need money." Does that happen to us? We now go and borrow money. Do you know what? We are not planning our finances well. So we spend as we earn. We spend on impulse. But if you have a very clear breakdown of what you want to do with what you are earning, at the end, for people that have not collected salary, you already have the things you want to do with the salary that's coming in today, tomorrow, next tomorrow. It will be tight for me to part. And if I'm going to give Christian, you must return it in the next 3 days because this money is for DSTV. I'll borrow the money for DSTV, and DSTV will be due in the next 3 days. Please don't let me be without DSTV. Exactly. It makes you to be more financially conscious. That's the reason for budgeting. But we really don't do it. We don't do it. So I've talked about 2 rules now. The first one is 50, 30, 20 rule. 50% of what you earn, make it for your need. 30% maybe for your wants, or you want to enjoy your family, take them out. It's good. They are working. You should enjoy life. Life is short. Life should not be too stressful for us. Then 20%, let it go for a savings. And we talk about the zero-based budgeting, where we take all our expenses from the income and we are left with 0. So anything that is not budgeted for, we can't spend on it. That's what zero-based budgeting means. All right. So the last one I'm going to talk about is called the envelope-based budgeting. Interesting. This is the one our parents used to do. Colo, yes, envelope-based. They will have like 3, 4, 5 colos. This money goes to this one. This one goes to this one. This one goes to this one. And savings go to this one. So, but this is a very typical example. You can see envelope. I've collected this money for the month. All the money. The one for grocery is in this account. This is what we're going to use for the rest of the month in this account, in this envelope. The one for fueling is in this envelope. The one for cinema is in this envelope. So when we finish, you know that we don't have money for grocery any longer. We have to adjust. Envelope based. But you don't need envelopes now, you need a wallet. Am I right? With technology all around, we can have wallets where we can actually share maybe 3, 4 categories of spending and say, this money is for my utilities, it's for my grocery, it's for my upkeep, this one goes here. This one is for my savings, this one. So what it's saying is that distribute all those money and let it go to different accounts or different wallets. So whenever you need something that is related to a particular category of expenses, go to the one that is representing that category and take money from it. So this is another good way of budgeting. So that is budgeting. Any question on budgeting before we move forward? We've talked about 3 categories of budgeting. We'll be so that we create time for questions. We're supposed to stop officially by 4, maybe 30 minutes. We do Q&A.
Extent left.
Yes.
Now, you said something about you can go to accounts, give it to that person that should return 2 or 3. One of the rules is that, let's say, things people normally say is whatever you can't give out, don't give it. So someone who actually about someone what he actually needs, like what is meant to
Don't lend, don't give out. When you cannot forget,
You're muted, sir.
Managing our expenses. So budgeting helps us to manage our expenses very well. Okay, so let's talk about quickly. I think we are going to stop here. Then we're going to questions and answers. Let's look at the 6 steps in creating a budget. Let's look at the 6 steps in creating a budget. After this session, I'm going to be sending the presentation material to Mr. Adeni for him to forward. Creating a budget. Number one, you have to calculate your net income. How much is my active and my passive, less my taxes? How much is my take home in a month? Then you categorize your expenses. Yeah, okay, I'm not. Oh, internet. Wow. All right. Okay, but can go ahead. Okay, so the other guys are not with us. Should we hold on? All right. So please, let's hold on for them. Okay, so while we are waiting for them, how is the session going? All right, fantastic. How many businessmen do we have here? Businessmen. Business people, sorry. Startup entrepreneurs. Fantastic. What are you into? You're a travel agent. Fantastic. All right, so let's quickly run through, let's conclude this today's session by looking at the 6 steps in creating a budget. Number one, we said we should calculate our income. Income is divided into 2. There are 2 types of income. There are 2 types of income. Oh yeah, active and passive income. Thank you, thank you. So we have to calculate our net income. Your net income is your total income less your taxes and other statutory deduction like your what's it called? Your pension.
After, not before.
Okay, so these are your net income. Are we good? Are they with us? Yes. Okay, these are your net income. That's how to calculate your net income. So calculate your net income for the month, your active and your passive income. Then you categorize your expenses. Categorize them. What do I mean by categorize? You're going to spend 3,000 on transportation. You're going to spend, when you're going to church, you're going to spend, maybe use your car for church. Everything on transport, categorize them under transportation expenses. Am I right? Yes. Then look at other things, utilities. What do I need to do at home? What are the basic things? I buy this, I buy that, categorize them under utilities. Maybe your telephone. You recharge 3,000, 5,000. You also do data. You also do broadband at home. Categorize them under communication. So that's what I mean by categorize your expenses. Categorize your expenses under different expense head. That is it. So that you can have a clue of your expenses. So that the money in your pocket can be properly budgeted for. You understand? If you have an idea of all the things you are spending on, categorize them into different buckets. You understand? Then you set realistic goals. You need to be realistic. How much do you want to spend on grocery? How much do you want to spend on utilities? How much do you want to spend? There are some things that you cannot avoid, like your rent. If you pay rent on a monthly basis, can you avoid that? So you have to be realistic. Don't say you want to spend 50K or 100K monthly on rent when your rent is actually 2-3 million in a year. It doesn't make sense. Do you get my point? Don't say you want to save 50% of your income when your expenses is about 90% of your income, and you have not increased your capacity to earn more. That's why I'm saying be realistic. Set realistic goal. Don't say that, okay, my income today is 100 or 150K. By next month, it will be 300,000. How? And you're now budgeting based on 300,000. You have to set realistic what? Goals. All right, so make a plan. Make a plan. Your plan is your budget. You understand? Having number one, the first one is calculate your income, categorize your expenses, set realistic goals for yourself, what is really achievable. Then make a proper plan. A proper plan is distribute the expected income into your expenses and say, okay, out of these expenses, I can actually save 20%. I can save 25%. That is your plan for the month of February. So your takeaway, as much as possible, you can do it for your business, you can do it for yourself. Guys are business people here. Make a budget for your business. For guys that are small business owners, you can budget for the month of February. Budget will give you control over your money. Budget will give you control over your finance. If you don't budget your finance, it's like you are groping in the dark. You make all the money and you are just spending it. And at the end, you just realize that wow, nothing is left. And you now say, with the kind of money I earn, I should not be borrowing. But it's easy for you to borrow because you are expecting much more at the end of the month. You earn very well. So you keep borrowing. You keep borrowing. And I've seen, because of the kind of job I do, because of the kind of people I meet, I've seen people that are swimming in the water of debt. And they earn so much. And they are borrowing from different loan apps. I have a younger brother that he had to force himself out after like 2 years. He earned so much and he pays so much in debt. I say, Ogashola, I don't know how I do it. It became a prayer thing. And I'm serious about it. But it's not about prayer. It's habit. It's you. Don't let us create problem for God. It's you. We need to determine ourselves that I want to live within below my means. Below my means. I don't want to live. If I say the guy, my brother ended up, I adopted him as my brother eventually. I had to adopt him as my brother. Yes, he's my customer that became my adopted brother. And I'm happy the guy is doing so well. He has recovered from that. For me, please stick to your budget. You must have a budget. For your business, have a budget. For your personal life, have a budget. If you have a budget, you'll be in control of your finances. Adjust your spending with your plan. That is straightforward. Adjust, because you now have a budget, don't spend anyhow as much as possible. Adjust your spending with your plan. The most successful business people are shrewd guys. Yes, the guy that you think should not even be concerned about 100K. They don't, no, you can't spend it like that, because that is now how they became successful. They became successful by mastering money, by being on top of their finances. Is the other set of guys that they want to show, okay, just 10K, no, 10K is not much, don't worry. No, every couple must be budgeted for. Every couple must be budgeted for. Then the lastly, I have here, review your budget on a regular basis. How am I doing? It is mid-month. Today is on the 15th. Have I spent more than 50% of what I budgeted for transportation, for utilities? Or maybe we have to start doing 010 at home. You understand? And everybody starts doing fasting by prayer, by force. All right. So budgeting is very important for us because the money we earn is limited. But our expenses, if care is not taken, could be unlimited. A lot of people are looking up to us. Inflation is catching up with our expenses. A lot of things are happening all around us. And we need to manage our money. The little we earn must be very properly managed. All right, so we have about 25 minutes more. I think we'd like to stop here so that we can entertain questions, answers. So by the time we start next series, we quickly go to savings, investment, and go into module 2. All right. Thank you so much. I'm going to stop here so that if you have any questions, if you need any clarification, if you have any real life experience, we can discuss in class. Thank you. Mr. Dini, over to you.
Thank you very, very much. This is time for question. Please raise your virtual hand and let's take the question, please.
your question, your contributions, your real life experience as regard what we have discussed today. Everything is welcome.
Any question from any of our centers, any of our corners, any of our space?
Okay, there's a question here. What's the name? Mubarak. Mubarak has a question in Lagos. Christian also has a question. Okay, Mubarak.
And then Benin City as well.
I want to ask you about budgeting our finances. Now, someone who can't actualize his income, like someone probably, let me say, there's those all these hard work. Then at times work will come, at times it won't. At times it will, the income, at times it won't at all. So, and then the expenses will keep on coming. So how can that person budget his income based on that kind of fluctuating income?
Fantastic. Thank you so much. That is a very intelligent question. And what will I answer? I would say you have to keep saving for rainy days because the person knows the kind of job he's doing, right? There must be adequate savings for days when there will not be jobs. Do you understand? It depends on the peculiarity of your business. That kind of person will also have months that is like showers of blessing, right? And what do they do at that time? They manage that fund at that time. Do you understand? So there are times in a month or 2, 3, 4 months consecutively, they are doing so well with so much income. But that's when they start chasing girls and hey guys, let's enjoy life. So those kind of people, what should they do? To save for rainy days, because surely their business model is not the type that is consistently with cash flow. You understand? And that's number one. Number two is also to start thinking, how can I diversify my business? What are the things that I can start selling? If you're a carpenter, can I start thinking of accessories that can sell, that can give me some 50, 70K on a monthly basis? So when I eat it, I do a project, I have a lot of income. Maybe I have to, as part of the fact that I'm a carpenter, you can still come and buy nails at my shop. It doesn't cost you 100K to set up that kind of business. And before you know it, that's the traction. You understand? So it's as good as possible, as much as possible, it's good to have that consistency in your cash flow so that you can plan, right? So if your business is the type that is project type, you understand? As much as possible, save for the rainy days. Have enough reserve because money is a defense. You understand? So that's the best advice. Yeah.
Yeah. Like technicians and assistants.
Yeah.
Technicians and assistants. What if they want to like start selling something and they need finance that stuff they have in or they want to start off with a savings to get an answer. They can be used to invest.
Yeah.
How can they procure
those assets?
Yes.
Fantastic. We talk about liability. Abi, when we talk about liability, you mentioned credit.
But most of the time, people in the financial industry then on things like consistent like
Exactly. Yes, fantastic. Very good question. Is an issue of the chicken and the egg. Which one comes first? Abi? So the question is that this guy doesn't have regular. I'm in that sector. So if you come for a loan request, the first thing we look at is your cash flow. Give us a 6-month statement. If they don't see a pattern of consistent inflow and outflow, they're not going to deal with you. But you don't need the financial sector, you don't need financial institution for every loan that you want. You can go to family and friends. You can go to your guys. Guys, I want to buy this machine. It costs me 150K. You understand? This is what it's going to do for me. Within 3-4 months, I can pay you with interest. The guy you get, I go to see the machine. If I don't pay, come and keep it. You have to be real. Financial literacy. Remember, Kami says you use other people's time and other people's what? Money. So if you want to buy a machine, you know you don't have you are not qualified, you don't have the credit record to secure a loan from a financial institution. What do? look for people, family, friends that can support you. The problem we have is that when we collect that money, we don't want to pay back. We see it as national cake. If you dupe me once, you can't dupe me the second time. And that is the unfortunate thing. So if you keep a very good integrity, even as an artisan, people want to trust you. Your customers want to even give you money. We buy this thing and they pay for it. There are some drivers. I used to have a factory, and there's a driver that delivers for us. We say, if you need money, we can give you money in advance because you've been consistent. So that kind of thing is financing. We don't know. I was here. He has already called me. I said, excuse me, sir, I want to talk to you. I know that we are going to talk to the accountant. He needs loan. And we give him money without, you want to repair your car, you want to buy tires. It's what we call spontaneous finance or supplier credit. So spontaneous finance, money that you don't even pay interest on. Do you understand? So if those kind of people look at their clients, they have clients that they work for that like them, they can approach their client, they can approach their family. I want to buy this machine. This machine will give me this return. I will pay back this money. Don't go to people and say they should give you money and as dash. Everybody has a problem. But if you come to me, this is my problem. This is what I've saved. I just need 80K, 100K to complete this money. People will want to listen to you more. And you tell me the path of repayment, they will take you more seriously. Do you understand? But unfortunately, is that we have this entitlement mentality. That, no, the guy is doing well. Can't he help me? No. See, you are not entitled to anybody's help. You have to walk your path to the top. So, and it requires your financial intelligence. All right, thank you. Question online. Yes, please, questions online.
We have somebody at the American corner, the American Center, Lagos. Please, can you move to the...
Okay. My name is Miracle Chinedu Uchechukwu. And I would like to ask, you said budget focuses on two things, income and expenses. Now, how can I help someone who makes his budget around his income, but unfortunately does not have a regular income, that the income is fluctuating and he's trying to set a budget of expenditure, like looking at the necessities, which are called the needs, groceries, house rent, utilities, and then health issues may come up, car maintenance and stuff like that. And the income as an entrepreneur that the person is on a fluctuating basis. How can I, or how can you, sir, as the host here, guide such a person to be able to find his or her bearing?
All right, yeah, we just answered a similar question just now, and I will, for the benefit of the guys joining us online, I would like it. So what we said is that the guy has two key problems. Number one, he has expenses, which we said they are necessary. You can't do without expenses. And number two, not that he's not making income, but his income is not consistent. So we need to help him solve. He has a financial challenge, right? We need to, as financial expert now, or financial literate now, we want to help him solve his problem. His problem will not be solved overnight. You understand? He needs to, number one, the work he's doing, he needs to look at how to, expand his income stream. If he's having an active income in UK, I'm frequent in UK, so you see guys doing 2-3 jobs.
In UK.
Yes, you see guys doing 2-3 jobs. Do you know why? The expenses are not going to abate. The expenses are there. So the first problem you need to solve is your income problem. So if you don't have that income, then start thinking. So there's no one key that opens all doors. I'm just going to give us a principle. And the first principle is, how can you diversify your income in such a way that maybe you want to work more, you want to change your job, you want to develop your skills, you want to have a side hustle that can also create additional level of income for you. That is on the income side. On the second side is, you need to find a way to still manage that expenses. you need to find a way to manage that expenses. I have a Yoruba adage that I like so much that says you can't be owing and be eating pig or pork. You understand? You know, pork is believed to be a luxury meat. Am I right? So you can't be owing. If you are owing me and you are driving a big car, no, you must be driving, you must not be jumping bus. Then I know that you have a problem. I will leave you. But if you are driving, I will collect that car. You are owing me and you are driving a big car. No, you have to pay me for it before you have access to that car. So that is the point. If you are not earning well, number one, reduce that expenses. Find a way to manage your expenses. One. Number two, so you have two problems. You have an income problem, you have an expense problem. So your income problem, try to diversify. You have to do more work. You have to fast share as the terminology. You have to really work and earn more because there is no magic anybody can do. The expenses are necessary evil. They will not stop. So you look at your income side and see how you can improve on that income side. And one of the suggestions we also made here is that at times, those guys that are artisans, they make so much money, they have a windfall in 2-3 months, and in another 3-4 months, they don't have anything to stick to. Abi? So during that 2-3 months when there is a windfall, diversify your income. Diversify your income, diversify the business. What other thing can you quickly put there that can start? You want to start selling pure water at your store, for instance? You want to buy a fridge that your fellow carpenter can come and start picking sachet water, picking a bottle of Coke, and you can start making income there. Diversify your income while you have the windfall. Plan for rainy days. You understand? So 2 answers. Number one, he has to look at his income side. How can he improve on his income? And how can he also manage his expenses until he becomes more stable? So there's no magic solution. And the solution is that he has to step up in terms of earning more income, learning new skills, looking for other jobs he can do over the weekend. Yes, to make money. You know, you can't be shy, you can't be a big man, and people. All right, thank you. All right, Christian. All right, thank you.
I think it actually become a little bit kind of impossible.
I hope my question makes sense. Because this is a serious issue.
Okay, so at a point, we end up budgeting and not budget. Even Nigeria as a country, that we keep borrowing money. When we have to go like so now an individual, I'm not looking at the country now. What can you actually, what kind of tool can you recommend for us? We make use of plan ourselves properly in the part of the financial budget, whether it's a business, you know, I think some of what I have actually reduced. So I think if there's any other recommended tool that you can, you know, suggest for us to make use of that. We ask the mobile, and this will assist us to track what we do, especially expenses, which is inevitable. So that the other one is but please, how can we assess
there are questions, right?
That's liabilities also improve our businesses. And I don't know if it's going to be like a general thing, but also know how much is the maximum of the comic and
okay. All right.
Please, could you summarize the question for?
Yeah, because of others. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Christian. So I think we can get other questions. Let other people ask their questions.
Okay, Benin City, over to you, and then Oshogbo.
Good afternoon, sir. Can you hear us?
Yes, please. We can hear you. Thank you.
We wanted to know which of the best, the budgeting plan, which one is the best? Like, is it the zero budgeting, the 50-30 rule, or the 50-20-30 rule? And
all right, thank you.
Another person here is asking building a house, is it a liability or an asset? Thank you.
Oshogbo.
BDM. Question, Oshogbo.
Oshogbo.
Michael, Tayo, thank you so much for the for educating us. Please, I have a question. I read a book, and in the book it said that liabilities are things that take money out of your pocket, while assets are things that put money in your pocket. Now, you mentioned car, house, television as assets, but according to what I read in that book, they are liabilities. Please, can you help us on that? And then secondly, if you've been saving and saving in like Nigeria now with the inflation, the savings look like as if we've made a mistake even keeping the money, because it's like the value is no longer there. So what do you advise on how, saving in this our economy now? Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much. But I like your question. All right. That's really the last question.
Okay, Amadi Grace. Thank you for an enlightening session. Okay, I was just thinking about you talking about budgeting. But we know that the economic situation of Nigeria is very harsh. And then you make your own personal budget for the month. But last, you keep getting calls from family members. Can you give me this amount? I need this to do this. My child is sick. And at the end, you find out that your budgeting is just nonsense at the end of the month. But how do you manage it so that you don't appear stingy in a way? Thank you.
A rich man in between in the family of poor is a poor person. I think that should summarize the question. Can we go to Calabar? And that should be it.
Good afternoon.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm Chokwe Akiomi from Calabar Center. I want to find out about a situation where you have budgets that are dependent of other budgets. That is, one budget is the derivative of another budget. And then the main budget happens to have an issue. How do you resolve such instances?
Okay, can you be clearer with your question from Calabar?
Okay.
Sorry, can you be clearer? Your question is not very clear.
Okay, I was saying that if you have a couple of budgets that are dependent on one another. Let me give you an instance. I have a budget A, and budget B and C are dependent on A. But now budget A has an issue somewhere along the line, maybe not immediately. Okay. Yes, and also now I am having, from the drop down, maybe I have drop downs of D and E and F. But because A has had some issues, maybe after 6 months, how do I resolve the drop down effect on D, E, and F?
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Any more questions?
Over to you,
so I can quickly run through them. All right, thank you. So to, as much as possible, answer these questions for the education of everybody. Now, tools for budgeting. There's many tools. In our next session, we are going to have some tools to discuss, but the simplest tool, Christian, you have your Excel, Microsoft Excel, right? Is the best tool for budgeting. Another tool is your paper and biro. The most important thing is not the tool. The important thing is your attitude to it. So we can give you all the tools. The tools are going to be useless if you don't have the right attitude to budgeting. You understand? But you can use Excel for small business owners. Try to do your P&L. You don't have to be sophisticated. It's something, all your total income, all your total expenses. Are you making profit? You understand? It's a way of managing your expenses. But most of us, we deal with cash flow. We don't really deal with P&L. Money enter, money go out. When you go out, look, I want to buy land. Oh, yeah, so let me buy the land. Okay, don't worry. With time, I will stabilize again. That's what we do. That's how we run our business. Rule of thumb. You understand? We don't really have information. We don't really have data. At your quiet time, tomorrow is the last day of the month. For business owners, look at your cash, look at your documents, look at your books. Did you make profit in January or not? Then you know that whether you need to increase price or you need to reduce your workforce or you need to try to negotiate and say, hey, how can I share my office so that we can reduce rent? Information. So if you don't have that data, what you don't measure, you cannot monitor. What you don't measure, you cannot monitor. Budget will help you monitor your business. So try to create your P&L, your profitability on a monthly basis. And as I said, you can do it. What are the total income that I made? What are the total expenses, including paying yourself salary, including transportation, including electricity, everything? Put it there and have an idea whether you are profitable or not. It will also guide you. So Excel is good for you to do your budget. Your paper and biro are good, but there are so many free apps, you understand, that you can also use for budgeting. Everybody has a computer nowadays, so put it there. You understand? Loans via Credit Pro. I have some of my ladies here that you can talk with after this session. I don't want to discuss it here, so that it won't be that I'm marketing my brand. This is American space. Okay, which budget is the best? Yeah, I like that question. Which budget is the best? For me, I like the zero-based budgeting. Budgeting because everything is budgeted for. You can't come, no matter how beautiful you are, to say I should borrow you 10,000. That money is going somewhere else. You understand? But for what's it called? 50, 30, 20 rule. I have space. I can do anything with my 50%. Am I right? I can do anything with my 30%. It gives me so much allowance. So there is no rigor in preparing the budget. Just okay, 100K and 50K go to my needs, 30K go to my wants. So I have wants. So I'm still wasteful. So, but for the zero-based budgeting, everything becomes almost a need. Then my savings, because I'm going to budget and account for every kobo that I spend. I want to give you a challenge. Try to stick to budget in February. Let's compare when you stick to budget and when you don't stick. I know January we didn't really stick to budget, Abby. Okay, so for February, let's try to stick to a budget. Let's stick to a budget. And it's not difficult, it's not complicated. You don't need anyone to help you. Just go to Excel, list all the things you want to spend and how you want to spend them. Chicken up. Then you can start tracking. Okay, what is the actual that I spent? What was my budget? What's my actual? Then at the end of the month, you are looking at your actual, your budget, and see where you did not do well. And say, okay, no, I wanted to spend 50K on utilities. I spent 75K. There's what we call variance. Variance is your actual minus your budget. Then what do you need to do to avoid that in the month of March? If you keep doing that, you become, yes, what do you want to do? Yes, no. What I'm saying is that by the end of February, from beginning of February on Thursday or tomorrow, have a budget for February. By end of February, you do what we call variance analysis. You want to see the variance between what you plan and what you actually did. Abi, I planned 50K for grocery, I did 75. There's a negative variance of what? 25,000. What am I going to do in March to avoid that repeating itself? My brother, yeah?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So do you know that sometimes you can do things outside the budget and it's not your, just like today, my sister told me that coming down here, because we still at the package now. So coming down here is 200, but unfortunately, I spent 400 now. Even more. So it's not my fault, but
I have debts.
You know what's happening? This one affects.
Yes.
I don't think it's
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So what I'm trying to say is that the situation of our country is making us spend more than our budget on loans.
Of course, I agree with you.
Yeah, the government transport BRT from Majalati on Friday. So it's 550 today, 90.
Yes, sorry, because of my time, I'm sorry, but it's well noted. All right, so I have a question. No, sorry, I can't. Let me just finish this. If we have time, then we can answer. Is that fine? Thank you. Is building a house a liability or an asset? Please, based on our conversation, is it a liability or an asset? It depends. Oh, okay. So I think it's from Calabar. Where they have that question from? So it's an asset and it could be an asset, it could be a liability. How? Okay, Christian.
For instance, let's say I'm from workshop, for instance, called workshop, where we don't have population and development, and I just go out there and out of let's say I'm managing 1 million as an individual, and I invest like 500K. I'm using for instance to build a house there where I don't have much tenants. To live there. I don't there we see the rats living in my house.
Yeah. Okay, does that make the house a liability?
It's not a liability. Yeah.
Is it a liability? It's not a liability. Yes, I like this conversation. It's not a liability. Why is it not a liability?
It's not a liability because for the now we think it's a liability. But a few years from now, to be an asset.
Okay.
Just like it's not a amount of sharing.
Okay. Yes.
Sharing.
Okay, so 2 years ago, is it a liability or an asset? Before, is it a liability? Okay, one house. Eh? Okay, so the question, right? All right, fantastic. Let me just answer because of our time. We actually have we have passed our time. All right, so by next week we are going to do more justice to this. Yeah. So, but the answer is a house is an asset anytime, any day. You may incur liability to acquire the asset. Remember the accounting equation that all assets you have, you earn, will be achieved through your personal money, which is your net worth, your equity, or what? Or liability. So the money you borrow to build that house is a liability. The house in your name, whether it is 20 years ago, 20 years to come, is an asset. All right. So let me quickly rush through. Robert Kiyosaki's definition of assets. Somebody asked a question about TV. Anyone that takes money, see. Robert Kiyosaki is a business guy. He's a business guy. He's not an accountant. It's his definition. I used to believe it. I used to read it. I read like 3 or 4 of his book, and they are the same principle. But that was then. An asset is what you own. A liability is what you own. If you own that TV, whether it's taking money from you or not, the TV is an asset. The money is taken from you is an expense. Do you understand? So don't be confused. So what he's trying to do is an investment guide. You understand? To tell you that don't get things that will take money from you. If you say a car is a liability, does that make sense to you? How can it become, because it's taking money for fuel, you are repairing it, does that make it a liability? No, it's an asset. It's not a liability. All right. How do you manage budget in a situation where everyone depends on you? Budget, okay, so we are looking at everyone depends on, okay, so that is the country where we are today. You understand? That is the country. We have a very strong communal system. Abroad, everybody's on his own. Abby? But yeah, communal system is good and it's bad. And one of the downsides is the fact that everybody depends on one another. But hey, you have to survive before others survive. Your Bible used to say, if fire is burning and it's burning your child, which one will you quench first? It's your own. So be real and be factual. You understand? Number one, you have to pay yourself first before you pay others. So no matter how much, if you say, okay, I can't save 20% any longer, I will save 10%. Save that 10%. Then another 10%, okay, I want to use it to support people. If whether you give them or not, they will survive. They will survive. So give them what you can give them. You get what I'm saying? And whether you give them or not, they will still complain. Yes. Whether you give them or not, they will still complain. So I'm not saying don't give. It's good to give. You understand? Right? Religious also support giving. What I'm saying is you can reduce your savings, but ensure you pay yourself first by saving something for your future. All right, thank you. So lastly, how do you have master and sub-budgets? Okay, I'm not going to do that justice because I'm not very so clear with that question, but I think what he's saying is that there is a variance on master budget and the other budget depend on the master budget. Of course, it's going to affect. No magic you can do about that. So if you know that you have a situation, you have to ensure that, for instance, what is our budget? What is our projection for how many barrels of crude did we project that we are going to? Did we base our budget in Nigeria on? How many? Is it 1.4 million, 1.6 million? But we have the capacity to do 2.2 million. So in doing your budget, you also need to consider the worst case scenario. If you have the capacity to earn as a business 10 million monthly, don't budget 10 million monthly. Abi, look at the worst case scenario. The best case scenario is 10 million monthly. The medium case scenario is maybe 7 million. The worst case scenario is 4 million. Be between the medium, the worst and the medium, then you are safe. So when the worst happens, you are budgeted for it. So don't budget based on the best case scenario and everything, any small, sensitivity analysis. Yeah, any small variance, any small shift in the economy, you realize that you cannot meet your budget. What I'm saying, this is more technical, is that you create allowance when you are making your budget. Don't budget with best case scenario. Budget with the worst or medium case scenario, that no matter what I can achieve. If 30% failure or variance happens, negative variance happens to my business, I can still achieve what I have budgeted for. So it's better to under-promise and over-deliver, right?
Thank you, Mr. Shola. Thank you.
Try to be more cautious. All right, so I think
so
we have
much.
to stop here. Next week is going to be our time, and so we manage our time very well.
Thank you so much, Mr. Shola. That was a wonderful presentation from Mr. Shola. Please, ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together for him. I believe we all had a very wonderful time. Mr. Shola, sorry, my name is Daniel Olu. I'm from the U.S. Embassy here in Abuja. It's good to see you. I actually wanted to ask you a question. Go ahead and still ask my question, but you'll respond next week. My question is Samuel Itayo an asset or a liability? But I'll allow you to take that question next week. Is Samuel Itayo an asset or a liability? So you can respond by next week, so that I don't know if you got my question clearly. But thank you so much for being on our program, and we hope to see you again next week. Ladies and gentlemen, please keep a date with us and ensure that you visit any of our American spaces, same time, same hour next week. That's all from us for today. Bye from me. Samuel, bye.